and welcome to the Ellen Made Book Club. I am excited because today it's finally time to pick out my February TBR. I really like the way I picked my TBR for January, so I'm gonna do the same thing today, where I use the reading challenges that I'm doing this year and some dice to help me pick what books to read. I've done pretty well on my January TBR so far. I read a bunch of books and then I have a couple going. I did realize that one of the books that I picked for my January TBR doesn't come out until February, or like I had pre-ordered the paperback for that book and that doesn't come until February, so I'm going to keep that in mind for this TBR in February, and so if it fits any of the prompts I will stick it in there. That book is The Mourning Necklace by Kate Foster, and that's historical fiction by an author that I have loved a book from before, so I'm excited to get to that one. Other than that, I'm going to use the Reading Spa challenge, my Diversity book bingo, and the Lost in the Library game board to pick my reads. And then I also have the Buzzword reading challenge, the Read Good reading challenge, and the Savage prompts. Depending on how many books I get from the other challenges and what books they are, and if they fit the other challenges, I'm going to be good with that. But if there is one challenge that doesn't have a book, I might pick an extra for that. I hope that makes sense. I know that I will pick at least 5 books, and then the dice will decide how many more than that, if any. So yeah, let's just get started and see what the first book is. So first of all, I'm going to look at the Reading Spa challenge, which is hosted by Carrie at Carrie Books and Jen at Jen the Librarian Reads. The way this works is every month you get a little quiz, like in a magazine, and you answer the questions, and at the end you arrive at a prompt that will help you pick a book. So the question for February is, when you think of a good book, it makes you feel nostalgic, challenged, or hopeful. I don't think hopeful is the feeling that comes to mind. Nostalgic or challenged. I think I'm gonna go with challenge, just because I like a book that, tickles my brain a little bit. So then we arrive at, do you journal or keep a diary? Not really. I have done, sometimes, but not right now. So I guess no. So my prompt is, read a book that makes you think of the future. Fun. That makes me think of something science fiction-y, something set in the future, and I do have some options for that. I do have one option out from the library, which is Moderation by Elaine Castillo. It doesn't specifically say that it's set in the future, but it says there are virtual reality theme parks, lush and near-perfect simulations of civilizations long since dead. So that makes me think this is in the future. Hopefully not an actual future, but Beautyland by Marie-Helene Bertino. I don't know if this is actually set in the future, but the cover art feels very futuristic to me, and it's, with aliens and stuff, so that could be an option. Every Version of You by Grace Chan could also be an option. This is also some kind of virtual reality thing where you're like uploading your mind. This is set in late 21st century Australia, so that could be an option. I also have a pile of new books here that I haven't shown yet. I'm saving them for a book haul video, so you're getting a little sneak peek. And I have 2 books that make me think of the future. One of them is definitely set in the distant future, it says, and that is Under the Eye of the Big Bird by Hiromi Kawakami. And then the other one is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, which I'm not sure if this is specifically like futuristic or if it's just science fiction and like time travel-ish or like world travel. But it definitely makes me think of the future because, anything that seems sort of technologically impossible feels like the future, like something that could happen in the future. I don't think I'm gonna go with Beautyland. I might save these 4 as options, and then we'll come back to this and see which one I'm gonna choose for this prompt based on what other books I have. So next up, I'm gonna pick books for the Diversity Book Bingo, and this is a reading challenge that I am hosting myself to diversify my reading, and you're very welcome to join in. I will leave links in the description box to the announcement video and the Storygraph challenge and the Discord server and all of that. And there are different boards that you can choose from. You can read anything from 6 books, I think, to 36, and I'm doing the board with 36 books and 36 prompts. And so if I am going to achieve a blackout board on that one with all different books, you can double up and like it's a whole thing. But if I'm gonna read 36 books for the challenge, I need to read on average 3 books a month. So that's why I'm gonna pick 3 books for the Diversity Book Bingo for February. So I'm gonna use dice to see where on the board I land, and since I have 2 dice, every time I roll I'm gonna get 2 possible coordinates for the board, and so then I can pick which prompts I want to go with. So let's do the first roll and see what I get. 6 and 1. So 1 6 gets me to a cover I love, which is just to read a book with a cover you love. And 6 1 gets me to memoir or biography. This one is really tricky for me to decide because I do have a bunch of memoirs and biographies to choose from. I don't have them like physically. I have some on audiobook and some I would need to get from the library. I need to be in the mood to read those because they're usually a little bit on the heavier side or like more serious topics. I'm not sure I want to put it like on the TBR. So I think I'm gonna go with a cover I love for this one. And I mean, I tend to buy books that have covers that I love. I feel like I have too many options. One cover that I love is this one, Fruit of the Dead by Rachel Lyon. I love the traditional art mixed with the modern design and the colors, and I don't know, I just love everything about it. I also love this cover. I also love this cover the most by Jessica Anthony. I think it's beautiful and it's very short. Discontent by Beatrice Serrano. I think this cover is a lot of fun. Confessions by Kanai Minato. It just feels so ominous. I don't know what to pick. Maybe this one, but I can't say this is like my favorite cover because I usually love the ones with a lot of color on them. So then I guess it's The Most or Fruit of the Dead. This is ridiculous. Okay, hold on. As much as I love these 2 covers, I don't think that they provide a lot of like diversity for my challenge, so I'm gonna put these back. Also, this one is set in November and not, so then it's Confessions or Discontent, and maybe these are not like the covers that I would have picked for like a cover I love, but I do love both of the covers. Discontent is funnier and Confessions is more like suspenseful. I'm thinking I might want something more suspenseful, but I'm not sure if I should pick this one for a cover I love. I mean, I do love this cover. Maybe I should just go with this one, and maybe I can pick this one for another prompt because now I really want to read this one. I think they would complement each other well in terms of like mood. Okay, let's go with Confessions by Kanai Minato. It's not that serious. This is a Japanese novel, so it would count for the continent of Asia. I'm not sure if it would count for anything else, but at least there's that. So Confessions by Kanai Minato is a thriller, I think. It's about a teacher and someone that she loves has died or been killed, and she thinks her students are responsible and she wants to figure that out or have a revenge, or I'm not really sure. I don't want to know too much before reading it, but I'm very intrigued by this one. Okay, so that's one choice made. I don't know how long I spent trying to figure that out, but let's do roll number 2. 5 and 6. 5 6 library or 6 5 ambiguous. Library or ambiguous. There are definitely a lot of books that I could pick for the library prompt. Cantica by Elizabeth Graver, Assembly by Natasha Brown, Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, Woodworking by Emily St. James is one that I have been hearing a lot of good things about. That might also work for ambiguous, I think. there is one available, so maybe I should put in a reservation for that, and then I can count it for either ambiguous or library. Yeah, sure, why not? Woodworking is a contemporary novel also about a teacher, or like there's a teacher and a student, and I think both are trans women, trans woman, trans girl. I think they rely on each other, or they help each other, or they teach each other things, or I don't know, there's some kind of a relationship forming between the teacher and the student, and yeah, everyone seems to love this book and I want to read it, so that's my second pick. And now let's do roll number 3. 2 and 4. 2-4 gives me Backlist, which is just to read a book that is not the author's most recent release. And then 4-2 gives me Poll Pick. The option that I had picked for Backlist is Elena Knows by Claudia Pinheiro. Should I read this month? I don't know. I'm scared to read it because I don't know if my expectations are too high, or if it's going to be like emotionally devastating. But yeah, I definitely do want to read this and I don't have a reason to wait. So I guess I'm picking this one. This is about a mother, or it follows a mother who is called Elena, and she is told that her daughter has committed suicide, I think, or like that's what the police conclude, but Elena knows that that's not the case. I know a lot of people have read this and loved this and reviewed this on their channels, and every time I just skip because I know I want to read it and I don't want to know too much before going into it. So yeah, I guess it's time in February. This is shaping up to be a pretty fantastic TBR. Okay, so those are all of my picks for the Diversity Book Bingo. I have Asia, South America, and North America, I think. I'm really excited to read all of those. And now let's find out how many books I'm gonna pick for the Lost in the Library game board. And I'm gonna roll one die to determine how many rolls to do on that. Oh my god. Okay, that's too many. 6 more books is way too many. I guess I'm gonna pick short books, and I know I'm not gonna read all of them, but like let's just pick some out, and then I'm gonna have some options to choose from in February. So the last time I played this, I ended on young adult fiction, and that's the book that I'm reading right now. So I'm not gonna pick a new book for that prompt now. I'm just gonna, keep rolling, and we'll pick books for the upcoming prompts. So let's see what the first roll is. 6. Okay, so let's see what my options are. I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can do community room. That might be a good option because then I don't have to pick a book. I just have to do something community oriented. I could land on TBR, immigrant or refugee, MC, cozy activity, fast or slow, TBR. Spell read with title and author. I think I'm gonna pick either cozy activity or community room, just so that I don't have to pick a book for every single prompt. I'm gonna go to community room and I'm gonna figure out what that's gonna be later. Okay, roll number 2. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Adult fiction. Renewal. TBR. Fast or slow. 5-star prediction. That's fun. 6. Indigenous author. That could be an interesting option. Yeah, I'm really curious about this one actually. I think I'm gonna go with Indigenous author for this one and pick another book from my pile of brand new books. And this one is White Moss by Anna Narkagi. Anna Narkagi was born in 1951 in the polar Ural tundra, and she belongs to the indigenous Nenets community. And this book, White Moss, was first published in 1996, and it was then adapted into the first ever Nenets language feature film. And this has just come out in an English translation, and it's translated by Irina Sadovina. On the eve of his wedding, young Alyoshka pines for an earlier love. Ilne chose to leave the nomadic Nenets community 7 years before, moving to the city and taking his heart with her. Unable to suppress his passion, Alyoshka is on the brink of defying ancient Nenets customs of home and family in the hope of another kind of life. Meanwhile, other painful transitions shake the foundations of the camp. I think the cover is stunning and it sounds very interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna add this one to the TBR. Okay, roll number 3. Another 6? What is going on? I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Latinx author. I already have one, but I guess I could do another. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. TBR. Hobby break. I don't know. Book on the cover. That might be fun. Do I have any? 5-star prediction. Treat yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Non-fiction. I keep forgetting I also have the other challenges. I think I need to pay some attention to those. I also am forgetting that I want to read classics. I don't know if this is the prompt for that. I mean, that could go for like a TBR thing. February. Classic. I guess I can just pick whatever I want. That's too difficult. I don't know. I need to think. I think I'm gonna go to the nonfiction room and I'm going to pick a book that is also a classic because I'm also doing the Classic 6 challenge this year and I keep forgetting that I need to include some classics in my selection. So I think I'm gonna go with A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. I've never read anything by Virginia Woolf and I have been wanting to. This audiobook is only like 4 hours and I think that, you know, considering I have a few more rolls to go and this TBR is, you know, it keeps growing, so I think a short book is a good option. This is a feminist essay arguing for both a literal and figural space for women writers within a literary tradition dominated by patriarchy. So I think that sounds very interesting and that's the book that I'm adding to my TBR. Okay, so roll number 4. A 2. Okay, so then I have 1, 2, treat yourself, 1, 2, TBR, or 1, 2, 5-star prediction. I could go with treat myself so that I don't have to pick a book, but like I want to pick books, so I'm gonna pick a book, I think. I might just go with TBR and just add something like different to the mix. I just remembered I also have The Mourning necklace by Kate Foster coming, and I don't think I have used that on a prompt yet, and that I think is a 5-star prediction. I really loved The Maiden by this author, and so I'm hoping that The Mourning necklace is also going to be a 5-star read for me. That is like historical fiction / mystery. There's a woman who has been sentenced to hanging, and then they hanged her, but then she survived, and so now they're going to hang her again. It sounds really good, and I have pre-ordered the paperback, which comes out February 5th, so hopefully I will, you know, get it sometime during February. And I'm gonna go to 5-star prediction. Yeah, that seems like a smart thing. Roll number 5. Another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Move back 1. Latinx author. Middle grade fiction. I don't think I have any that I'm like eager to pick up, so let's not do that one. 2026 goal. That's an interesting one because I do have a few books that I'm like, I want to read those. I already have a lot of books though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of your comfort zone. Now, 6. Another 5-star prediction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 20 minutes of booktube. Like it's too easy, but like I already have 7 books on my TBR and February is a short month, so maybe I should just do 20 minutes of booktube and call it a day because yeah, let's do that. 20 minutes of booktube is my next roll. 6th and final roll. 3. We have 1, 2, 3. Fast or slow. TBR, community room, 5-star prediction. I mean, I do want 5-star predictions. I want to read nothing else. Like it's too many options for me. I do have a lot of like darker reads and like serious ones, so maybe I should pick something a little bit more fun. I'm thinking again that Discontent could be an option because this is supposed to be a little bit more funny and it's also not very long. I don't know. This is also a 5-star prediction, I guess. Yeah, I'm adding this one, I think. I don't know. I'm scared to read all of these books that I'm really excited to read. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm scared to put too many books that I have high expectations for on the same TBR because, you know, what if they all just like fall like dominoes and I hate all of them? I don't know. I'm nervous. But I'm adding Discontent. For what prompt? TBR or 5-star prediction? I'm not going to do another 5-star prediction because that's too scary. So I'm just going to call this TBR. Okay, and then I still have to pick a book for the reading spa prompt. And so I have these to choose from: Moderation, Dark Matter, Under the Eye of the Big Bird, or Every Version of You. I feel like Dark Matter might be the one that's most fun. Like, it's not saying anything about society necessarily, I don't think, or like, I don't know. I think it's, you know, thought-provoking about life and things, but I don't think it's like dealing with social justice or, you know, trauma or things like that, which I feel like could be part of some of the other books that I'm reading. So I'm thinking maybe this one, just like, because I need something that's just for fun, but it's not necessarily funny. And I think this could be like a pretty fast-paced one, and it's new and I want to read it. So, okay, I'm adding Dark Matter, I guess, by Blake Crouch for my reading spa prompt, which was to read a book. What was it? Yeah, a book that makes me think of the future. This one says, "Are you happy in your life?" Those are the last words Jason Dessen hears before the masked abductor knocks him unconscious, before he awakes to find himself strapped to a gurney surrounded by strangers in hazmat suits, before the man he's never met smiles down at him and says, "Welcome back." I think that's a good fit for my TBR. For the diversity book bingo, I have 3 books. The first one is for the prompt A Cover I Love, and for that one I'm reading Confessions by Kanai Minato. For the library prompt, I'm reading Woodworking by Emily St. James. And for backlist, I'm reading Elena Knows by Claudia Pinheiro. And then I have 6 rolls for Lost in the Library, and for 2 of those I picked Community and 20 Minutes of Booktube. And then I had 4 prompts for books, and the first one was to read a book by an Indigenous author, and for that I picked White Moss by Anna Nerkagi. Then I went with nonfiction, and for that I picked A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. For 5-star prediction, I picked The Mourning Necklace by Kate Foster. And for the prompt TBR, I picked Discontent by Beatriz Serrano. Okay, so I have 8 books in total, and I definitely have things for all of the reading challenges that I'm doing, and we'll see which ones I actually end up reading and using for the prompts. I think this worked out pretty well. I don't have like a huge stack because all of the books are pretty short. We'll see which ones I get to, but I'm really excited to have these to choose from in February. I'm trying to be better at vlogging this year, especially the books that I read for the diversity book bingo, and I'm having fun so far, so keep an eye out for those reading vlogs. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one.